Shalom. Well, here we are smack in the middle of it. The middle of what? The middle of the Torah, of course. This week in Parashat Shmini, we arrive at the precise midpoint of the Torah according to the calculations of the Masoretes, the ancient scribes who meticulously counted the letters of the Torah. So we have the middle letter, the middle word, and the middle verse of the Torah, all in Parashat Shmini. But in the Talmud, Rav Yosef asks a question. He says the Vav, that is traditionally seen to be the middle letter, this Vav, Mehai Gisa or Mehai Gisa, does it belong to the first half of the Torah, or does it belong to the second half of the Torah? Rav Yosef believed that there was an even number of letters in the Torah, and so the middle letter had to either be the last letter of the first part or the first letter of the second part. If you count differently, and if you believe that there is an odd number of letters in the Torah, then you can have that vav being the precise middle with an equal number of letters on either side. And the Talmud gives an interesting answer to this problem. The Talmud says, well, we are no longer proficient at being careful sofrim. We are not proficient anymore in counting the letters precisely and understanding how words should and should not be spelled. So we can't really know where the precise middle is. And I think there's a deep thought embedded in that observation about the letters and the count of the letters in the Torah. It's often very hard to know where the precise middle is. Are we further along in this direction or further still backward in that direction? That's something we struggle with in so many ways as we try to take stock of our lives. Have we come close to an end of an episode, or are we just beginning something new and fresh, or we're still stuck in the same old problems? And the answer is that it all depends on the way you count the letters, how you define the amorphous borders of the story of your life. If you think that a portion is finished, then perhaps it is. If you think a portion is rife with opportunity, then perhaps it is. It's all where you position yourself on either side of that midpoint. Another interesting observation of that middle letter is that it appears in the word gachon, meaning belly. In the laws of kashrut, we're told in this week's parasha that you're not supposed to eat anything that crawls on its belly like a snake. And the vav is in that word gachon, belly, but the vav is written larger because a vav that stands upright like a human being, that's the definition of humanity, to be able to stand up and to think for oneself and to be proud of one's accomplishments in the world, to stand up as though we were partners with God in making this world better. And that's another secret as to how to live your life in the middle, to stand up, to proudly face whatever is in front of you, and to deal with that which is behind you, and to move forward with faith, with resiliency, and with strength. The poet W.H. Auden said, "The center that I cannot find is known to my unconscious mind." We know that we might be in the middle of something that will yet turn into something amazing, something great, something that will indeed eventually be a beautiful blessing. Shabbat Shalom.